Next, we have the color, the wavelength, the color. I'm pretty much going to focus on the visible light. There's a lot more non-visible light technology coming out, sphere lights, hyperspectral, multispectral, all that jazz. I'm not really going to touch on this in this presentation, but we do have some content about it if you guys are interested in it. But for now, we'll focus on just the visible spectrum, which is about 380 nanometers to 780 nanometers, give or take each person. UV light is shorter than that. IR light, sphere light, all that jazz is longer than that. So when you see if you look at our catalog and you see a series, you're going to see a graph like this on the catalog page of, for example, the HPR2. And what this is showing you is the spectrum of the LEDs of the lights we have. So if you have a green LED, HPR2-GR, the spectrum is going to look like this. You're going to have a peak at 525, but it's still going to have some radiant intensity at 500 all the way to almost 600, right? So that's just what the spectrum of your LED is. So that's all that's showing. So long to kind of circle back to the basics, what is color? Why do we see a blue water bottle versus a pink water bottle versus an orange sweatshirt? What is happening that gives us color? And what it is we have the sunlight, which has a full spectrum, invisible to visible to invisible again, and it's a flat spectrum. And when it shines down, this is where I talked about light absorbing, reflecting, all that jazz. That comes into play here. So a red apple will have sunlight hit it. It absorbs blue and green and reflects red. And then anything that's green absorbs red and blue and reflects green. And then blue absorbs red and green and reflects blue. So that's what we see color. Our eyes have the ability to see what light is being reflected, and that's how we see the color in our world. So what happens if we put a monochrome camera over everything? Everything gets a little gray. Now it's not as fun. It would be a pretty sad world to live in if it looked just like this. But we can utilize this in our machine vision applications to create contrast. So if I were to change the sunlight to be only red, we now only have red sunlight reflecting down, what's going to happen to our blue and green objects? Our red is going to continue reflecting red just as it always did, and our green and our blue are going to continue absorbing red just as they always did. So if we take that idea with our monochrome camera, we can create our contrast. So that red light reflects that red. The camera says, oh, hey, look, light, awesome. And then when the green and blue objects, they're just absorbing that red light. So the camera's like, there's no light there. I guess there's nothing present. It's going to appear dark. So we can utilize the color of the LED with the color that we're trying to see in a monochrome camera to create contrast. I spoke about an apple for a reason. An apple under monochrome light. With the red light, the apple appears very bright. There's a lot of light reflecting off of that apple into our camera. But with the green light, it appears a lot darker because it's absorbing that green. It's not reflecting as much light. So it's going to appear darker. So if we have an example with M&Ms, if I have a white light shining, what do you think my image is going to look like? Just kind of gray, just a gray, sad image. If I shine a red light, how do you think my image will change with just a red light? Close. We see the red one and the yellow and the orange. But you're right, we only see the one color because we're not letting the other colors reflect the light. What about for green? Which color do we think we'll see the best? Probably green. And last but not least, blue. And so we can predict what color we're going to see by looking at the color wheel. So that shows right here, but like colors or families will lighten. So when we shined red light on the M&Ms, the red one got brighter, the orange and the yellow all got bright, blue and green got dark. When we shined the green light, green and yellow, and blue lightened a little bit, but red got dark. And then when we shined blue, the blue got really bright and the yellow got really dark. So anything on the opposite side of the color wheel is going to darken. Anything that's on the, light color or families will lighten it. So this one's going to be another quiz. We've got a little barcode with red text on it and yellow background. Here's my color wheel to kind of help you guys out, and here's what a white light looks like. Of these three, which one of them is my red light image? Left? Why do you say left? It's middle. Yep, so we can tell that this is the red light image because that red text in our barcode is being illuminated and reflecting off the light so much it effectively disappears with the white background, and therefore it's removing that red text, and we're just seeing it blends in with the white background. So which one is my blue light? Right? Close, it's left. We can tell that this one is the blue one because this yellow here gets really dark. So the yellow, blue is on the opposite side of yellow. It's extremely dark, but the red also darkens as well. And last but not least, green, and we can tell it's green because this technically did lighten, and green is close to yellow. So in terms of color and utilizing it, that's kind of the best way. The lights that we have in that regard are full color lights. The HPR2 and the HPD2 come full color standard as an option. So you'll have one channel for red, one channel for green, and one channel for blue. This is great for applications where you're doing like peanut butter lid caps. You're reading the date code. One's going to be red, one's going to be blue, one's going to be yellow. You might need to change the wavelength to get the best image. White might not work for every color. I do this from experience, so we needed to use a full color light to solve that. So that's kind of the options that you have for multiple colors. You can also just pick if your sample is consistent, just pick the red light and go from there. But if you need multiple options, full color.